Shai again, sizing up Murphy. Drives, floats, hangs, and scores on the turnaround. JDub way behind the three-point line and hits way behind the three-point line. Got blocked. What a rejection by Holmgren. Standing tall like a wall.
This is Dart. You're listening to the Uncontested.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Uncontested Postgame Show, part of the Blue Wire Podcast Network and proudly sponsored by Prairie Artisan Ales. I'm your host on this Wednesday evening, JD Silva, joined by a fella. It's Nick Crane.
You are a new Blue Sky representative.
I am.
You're spreading all the propaganda to get on the new app. I guess it's not new. The cool app.
Yeah, it's fresh. Things feel fresh over there, but they feel better than Threads did. Threads was weird.
I thought Threads was going to be sick when they first came out with it because it's like tied to Instagram. And you've already got kind of a base. A question for you. I was learning from you today as you're this like ambassador of Blue Sky. Tell on Twitter, it's called a tweet.
Yeah.
Tell our listeners who are not familiar, what's it called when you post on Blue Sky?
Well, I think it's called a skeet, Nick. I think it's called a... I think it's called a skeet.
I couldn't tell if you were making that up or if you were being for real.
No, it's on the Wikipedia. Frequent users have called posts on the platform skeets, which is a blend of sky and tweets.
Oh, man.
But also a slang word for ejaculation, the Wikipedia says.
Oh, man. So
I'm
yeah,
going to go with posts, you know.
Yeah, you're posting. It's better than saying, "Oh, Nick Jordan in the chat, a Fred Van Skeet."
You could say that.
You could say that.
Yeah, no, Blue Sky's nice. I'm on both right now. If it picks up, it picks up. If not, it's whatever. But it's a peaceful, pure experience right now. So
I might get on there and post tonight.
Post on there?
Yeah.
You know what's really driving me nuts is this Cologne stain right here on my pullover. You see that?
I'll be dead honest. I would not have been able to tell. I'm also on a smaller screen. Maybe folks watching on the television would notice that. I did not notice it. It looks kind of like a weird shadow.
Good.
But now everyone's going to be staring at it the whole show, so you
fold
put the
it
pressure
over
on yourself, buddy.
I know. Boris says Cologne in parentheses. Doing too much posting.
Posting.
We're going to break down a game tonight. Thunder just beat the Pelicans 106-88. Before we do that, though, be sure to subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a 5-star rating. Follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. Uncontested's not really on Blue Sky yet, so I'm not.
We are.
Well, we are. We're just not.
We're a ghost.
We're a ghost.
We're a troll. Like we're a burner account.
Yeah, it's like me and Taylor are kind of on there right now, having some fun. One last thing. Our partner, Prairie Artisan Ales that we love, this Saturday they're celebrating their anniversary. And that means they're bringing, it's going to be like a sour ring themed beers. Like, you know, they're the peach rings, all of those. So they have watermelon rings, peach rings, pineapple rings as beer flavors. They're going to have them all on Saturday. They look delicious. You can go to their Instagram and see the picture. It looks awesome. I'm going to try and make it out there myself.
What day is this?
It is Saturday, November 16th.
I will be in town.
Yeah, and they say tomorrow their full menu will be out. So.
What time is this at, Silva? Do we know?
I am looking at their Instagram posts, and I don't see it yet. They also have green apple rings, strawberry banana rings, blue raspberry rings. These are all beer flavors they're going to have.
Yeah, I will definitely be stopping by. What it reminds me of, Silva, this is pure irony. What I'm drinking tonight is Patches, which is the Sour Patch Kids flavor.
Yes.
And that gives me a lot of those vibes, which is interesting because this is a damn good beer. And I'm sure the ring beers will also be awesome.
That'll be good. New hairstyle from Jacob Niffin's hair tonight. It's Marge Simpson. He's actually emo Jacob Niffin's hair since Chet got hurt. But we got Marge Simpson tonight.
I thought that character had purple hair.
I think it's like a blue.
Is it?
Yeah.
Full disclosure, I've watched like 3 minutes total of. No, you're right. It's blue.
Googling Marge.
Marge. Margs is what came up
Margs.
first.
That'd be nice.
I'd love a Marg.
Yeah, and on the rocks. All right, let's get into this.
Yeah.
Let's get into this game, Nick. 106-88. Thunder's second game without Chet Holmgren, playing against the even more injured New Orleans Pelicans. They were without, what would you say, 4 of their 5 or 6 best guys tonight? Like Zion,
I'd
Herb
say
Jones,
like
CJ.
6 of their best 8.
Yeah, like they had Brandon Ingram and Trey Murphy and a bunch of guys that wouldn't otherwise be playing this many minutes. Like JRE played 24 minutes tonight.
Yeah.
To give you a good example. Love JRE, but that's the situation they were in. We're freestyling this one. Let's do what we usually do, though. Talk about some big takeaways and then do a breakdown of the game and expand a bit further from there. Big takeaway, number 1, I want to lob your way. Is this JDub's best game?
Ever or this season?
I don't know about ever. It does feel like his best game this season. His line, 31 points on 10 of 18, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 steals, 2 blocks.
It's really good. I would say it was his loudest game.
Yeah.
I would say it's his best two-way game. Yeah, I guess those things considered, probably his best game.
It does feel that way. With Chet being out, his last 2 games have been pretty nuts. Like the game against the Clippers, 28, 8, and 6 on 11-16. Another 2 steals there. Like he's been stepping up in a big, big, big way. Another takeaway. Do you have one? I want to lob it in your direction.
AJ Mitchell. I don't know what the takeaway is. Like there's a lot of things you could say about him, but AJ Mitchell. I feel as if, and we'll get more into this, I feel as if he, even when he's not scoring, assisting, rebounding, stealing, whatever the statistical category may be, I feel he's bringing an element to the bench unit that we otherwise would not see. Like as good as Cason is and has some of the ball handling abilities, haven't seen a ton of like the relentless rim pressure from him. Aaron Wiggins is a good self-creator, a good slasher. But generally like he'll kind of stop in the mid-range and pull up, and it's just, he brings a new element to the bench, and it's something that I think is very underrated.
Yeah, he has essentially been already what like a Micic was to this team last year. Like the JDub Micic lineups were always really fun. He's already doing that same thing. And like you and I were kind of watching to see like, okay, when the scouting report comes out, is he still going to keep doing it? And to his credit, he has adjusted and he's been doing it still.
Totally.
He's been awesome.
Yeah. What do you got? What's next?
Where could I go? Can our takeaways be, this is maybe a dumb question, can our takeaways be a little negative? Because I have a Cason Wallace takeaway where, damn it, I love the aggressiveness that he's playing with this season. Like I love the shots he's taking. I love what he's doing with the ball in his hands when he gets these reps. I love his defense, obviously. But boy, the shot is not falling. We were talking about it in the group chat. Like it is way off. Way off.
Yeah, I don't think I would say I'm concerned today.
No.
He is reaching the territory where we could probably start having the conversation. Maybe we have the conversation now. How many, whether it's games or attempts, does it take before you say, something's off? Because like first 5 games of the year, it was like, yeah, a lot of guys are just rusty. 10, 12 games into the year, like, we know he's a better shooter than this. It's just not falling. Like, no reason to be concerned. But like when you hit 20 or you hit, 50 attempts, do you start asking the question? I think so. And not only has it been just like down in efficiency, I'm pulling up his numbers now.
26% from 3 this year.
Not good. I would have guessed worse, to be honest, based on the eye test. Just not good at all. Last year was 41.9%. You could argue last season was maybe inflated. Maybe he's more like a 36, 37% guy, but that's way down. And again, it's 12 games, but yeah, something's up there.
I think he's taking like slightly more difficult threes, but it's not what a 12 percentage point swing or whatever that is. Like, it's not that.
Yeah, it's a good takeaway though. I think although negative, it's certainly something to be discussed.
Before we break down the game quarter by quarter real quick, any other takeaways from you? I have one if you need it.
Go ahead with yours.
It's Kenrich Williams.
Mm-hmm.
The Thunder lost arguably their second most impactful player in Chet Holmgren. And we all thought, man, that's like the Thunder are deep, but without Chet, like that's going to be really tough. I think we all kind of forgot what a healthy Kenrich Williams can do. He has a.
It's been a while, to be clear, since he's been like that impactful. Like in the Dallas series last year, he got thrown into a game and he kind of mucked things up and like changed, not a game, but changed like a quarter. He did some good things there, but we for a long time have not seen the Kenrich Williams that was like the overarching storyline around him was like the guy at every deadline, a contender wants to trade a first round pick for. Wait till the Thunder contender because that'll be like the perfect guy to have. And it was like they became contenders, and all of a sudden he like wasn't impactful. Not to say tonight will continue per se, but that was the first time in a long time. I was like, wow, he actually changed the trajectory of that game.
Yeah, he didn't look like this all of last season, really. No. And it's kind of been like
it's been injuries, like not like he's fallen off as a player.
Didn't he have? Why was he out? Was it a back? Was it a back issue?
He had like the
at
wrist.
Some point it was.
He had like the season-ending wrist, and then he had a back that lingered in the last season. He ultimately came back from that. Who knows if he was actually healthy? Backs are weird. I'm blanking on what he even had coming into this year now. But yeah, it's been a string of non-related injuries, which you never want to see. But
it's like I worry it's like wear and tear injuries because he is playing center at what 6'5", 6'6". Like that is tough to do.
It is.
But we need him now, and he showed out tonight for sure.
Certainly.
Let's break this game down. First quarter, Nick, nasty business. This Thunder scored, I think it was 6 points over the first 5 minutes of the game.
Missing a lot of shots, and the Pelicans were making a lot of shots. Someone texted me around that time and was like, man, the Pelicans look like a different team without Zion, kind of trashing on Zion. It's like, no, I think they're just making all their shots, and they normally won't, and they probably won't continue. And that was the case at some point. Regression came.
Yeah, Trey Murphy hit one from like really, really deep, and I was like, uh-oh, is he going to go off? And he finished 2 of 8. Like, he can do that, but it's tough when he's like the main focus of the defense.
Yeah.
I also had a skeet about about Yves Missi being looking like a first ballot Hall of Famer in this game, which I figured would happen. And he did finish 5 of 5. And early on in the game, it looked like, oh god, this guy's going to be a problem just because he's bigger than everyone else. That didn't remain though. The Thunder did clean up their act to finish out the first. You go into the second, and the Thunder's depth just kind of wins out, kind of like we expected. I don't remember any like huge plays out of the second quarter. It was just kind of the Thunder's depth came in. No Caruso tonight, by the way, so they were even missing another guy. This is kind of when Kenrich came in, did his thing. Other guys stepped up. AJ Mitchell, of course, kind of had his moment there. I thought JDub the entire night, like we talked about how good of a game he had. The lineups where it was just JDub plus bench or plus 4 other guards, those were really, really good. And we got some of that in the second quarter.
Yeah, second quarter, early in the game, like you kicked off here talking about the first 5 or 6 minutes, real ugly. And it felt like the latter half of the first and a good chunk of the second was like getting back to even, right? And it's a good thing because I think at one point the Thunder, I know halftime it ended up being like a 4-point game. They were up like 10 or 11 in the second, I think. which doesn't seem like a lot, but given how much they were down, like that was like a 18 to 20 point swing over the course of 18 minutes before halftime. So while those quarters, I agree with you, didn't feel like the difference per se, and like it wasn't like loud really. Third quarter got loud. We'll talk about that in a second. That was a really important quarter 2.
Yeah, it was. It kind of set the tone for what was to come, and we can go into the third quarter. The Thunder's defense, although they don't have any rim protection right now, really, they're still finding rim protection.
Do they not? Because I saw SGA and Jalen Williams do some things.
They don't have rim protection from the big position, I should say, but they do have rim protection and the ability to steal the ball seemingly whenever they want. Hey, here's a rhetorical question. What team is leading the league in total steals on the season?
Oklahoma City by a lot, probably.
Yeah, they're leading by 11. I don't know if it's updated for tonight's game, but they have 136 steals on the season. The Hawks are second with 127.
And Dyson Daniels is 121 and there's 127.
Yes, he's been insane.
He's been so good.
Shout out the Pelicans. They could use him right now. But
deep cut.
Yeah, deep cut. The third quarter, they did the thing where the defense just locked in and they pulled away. Buried them, dude.
Yeah. It was 59 to 59. And then all of a sudden it was like 63 to 82 or something like that. It was like
82,
they scored
68 heading into the fourth.
It was a lot.
It's like whenever they wanted to take the ball.
And there was a lot. Like, I think the stat was like 30. At one point, it's like 34 to 0 in transition points. A lot of those were off of steals and fast break. There could have been and should have been a lot more. There were so many steals that like took a weird bounce and ended up back in their hand, or like they tipped it. They could have had 5 to 7 more steals and another 10 fast break points if the ball had bounced a couple different ways.
Yeah. It felt like, I don't know, total domination is kind of what it felt like in the third quarter, and that kind of continued into the fourth. Shout out to this is a play I do remember. Ousmane Dieng, still playing some good minutes. Dove onto the floor to get a loose ball. Like, that's just the kind of stuff. Everyone is so bought in on the defense.
He had a really good acting as a rim runner. He did what he was supposed to do. I forget who it was driving on the fast break, like Dub or Joe or somebody, driving up the right side. And like a big man should do, just run straight to the front of the rim. He did, and he got the ball, and he finished for 2 points in a moment that the Thunder needed it. That's one of those where it's like, it's easy to see him catch it and make kind of a tough layup. It's more impressive the process that he ran the floor the way he was supposed to, was in the right spot, and got rewarded for it. And that's in the film room when Oklahoma City's watching film on this game. That's what Mark will give Oos credit for, not for the tough layup that he made that may have been an N1. Like, that's the stuff that you got to see with Oos.
Yeah, we've said like he doesn't have the dog in him at all.
Still may not.
He still may not. But there's something in there. There's maybe the ghost of a dog.
There is something in there.
There's the embryo of a dog within him. You can teach it a little, I guess, if your team is just hyping you up all the time. Like,
yeah.
And they're hyping him up. Like, they want him to succeed. Just like everyone else. Like,
I mean, he's only, 3 in dog years? So give him some time.
Guess you're right. Connor says, maybe we just need one cat. You're not wrong. Oh God. Going to the fourth, it was that was kind of it. Like the fourth quarter, I was on cruise control watching because it looked like they were just having fun. Like JDub completely took over the game in the fourth quarter, and it's when he turned a great game into like a phenomenal game from his standards. There's more JDub plus some combination of Dort, Wiggins, Cason. Threw a lob to Cason, I believe, early in the fourth quarter, late in the third quarter. That was awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna look up this. I wouldn't be shocked if Cason is top 3 on the team in both lobs thrown and lobs received, which is a weird thing for a guard. There's not a lot of guys that catch lobs in this team, and not a lot of guys that throw them well. Cason's a guy that can actually throw him pretty well, and put it down apparently.
This team does have a weird relationship with lobs. They would try and feels like when they throw him to Chet, they try and damn near kill him.
That's why it was so loud in the playoffs last year against Dallas, who like relied on the lob. Like they're half court lobs to Derek Jones for back breaking dunks, and it was like Derek Lively was scoring 8 to 12 points a game on just lob dunks that required nothing besides the ability to catch a perfect pass and throw it down. Not to discredit them as a player, there's a skill and an art to rolling the right way and timing the lob, but like it just felt like, when is Oklahoma City going to get that vertical spacing presence? I don't think Hartenstein's going to be the guy that really changes that either.
Or Jay will.
Or Jesus. I like the way you said that. Yeah, it's just such an interesting, unorthodox team, man.
It is, and they're damn good. They're 10-2 now after that game. They're just awesome. Like, I don't know. There's always something new to find in every game. Like, I do wonder now with Chet being out. Like, JDub seems to have clearly taken on that responsibility of stepping up. I'm curious to see if this continues. Like, he's without a doubt an all-star if he keeps averaging what he's done last game and this game after Chet is out. Like, that's averaging like 20 off the top of my head, like 27, 6 and 5 or something like that between these two games. Like, that would be absurd.
More.
Yeah, more.
What sticks out that's super interesting is you would think the reason he's scoring more is because he's getting more volume and like he has to step up, right? Took 18 shots tonight, 16 against the Clippers. He's had 3 or 4 out of his 12 games where he shot 17 or more. He had a 20-shot night against Denver. It's not just like a volume thing. In fact, he's shooting about what he averages on the season from a field goal attempt standpoint. Getting to the line a bit more, but he's also getting additional defensive pressure because you don't have Chet as like that third option, and he's still doing this on the efficiency is what's crazy. Like last 2 games, he's 11 of 16 and 10 of 18, 2 of 3 from 3, 4 of 7 from 3. Like, there's not a better secondary scorer than that.
No, and it's you would think it seems so obvious just to increase volume, increase your volume, but he like does. I don't know if he doesn't have it in him, but he's not gonna force it when he's out there. He's just not. And he may take difficult shots sometimes, but they're difficult shots that he knows he can make.
Yep. And we see the same with Chet, where it's like, bro, just take more shots. I think that is a indirect leadership characteristic that's trickled down from Shai. Shai's a guy that could score. The fact that Wemby scored 50 before Shai, who has been in top whatever MVP the last 2 years, just goes to show, again, not to discount Wemby, took a lot of shots tonight, was also efficient. But Shai is like never going to take enough shots to drop 50. Like it just didn't seem like he career high 45, and he's like in his 6th or 7th year the other night. Like, I think his teammates see, I don't think it's something he like coaches his teammates on. He's not going out there and saying, be like me, don't take all those shots. But I think it's a lead by example, and Chet and Dub see his success without being a ball hog. Like you see with so many stars around the league, the guys that average 25 a game, but they're taking 21 shots or 25 shots. It's like, that's not this team style.
Yeah, it's not like Trae Young where it's like, I'm gonna dribble the ball the entire game and you're gonna stand there and play off of me. It's not
Cam Thomas.
Shout out to Cam Thomas. JDub hit on that. JDub hit an and one early in the 4th, and he did it, and then he immediately turned to his team and was like, tell him to come over, and he like huddled up with them after he made that. I don't know why, but that's just he's leading out there, and he's younger than some of these guys still.
Yeah,
but he's so damn good. His defense, by the way, You'll see the highlights, I'm sure. 2 blocks back to back on some poor bastard. I don't know who it was, but pretty unbelievable blocks back to back.
Yeah, he's
It wasn't JRE, was it?
No, it was who was it? I'm thinking back now. It was Javonte Green, I think maybe.
Brutal. They were, can I just say, they were kind of targeting JRE.
Yeah, I mean, this is a Pelicans team that has a lot of holes in it, and you got to exploit those. Even like BI, who got off to a hot start, like you mentioned, had like 2 threes early and a couple middies. I think he had like 11 points in the first quarter, maybe. Finished with 18 points. Like that was their leading score tonight. That's horrific for Pelicans fans. Like, yeah.
I thought he was gonna go off early, but he just kind of stayed quiet. Connor asks, JD, are you currently potting from North Korea?
Yeah, your internet must be slow.
I don't know what's going on. I pay
but you had fiber.
I pay for expensive internet, but just sometimes it just shits itself right before we pod, which is great.
It's because you got meth streams running on like 6 devices in the other room.
Got to be plugged into meth streams.
Blue Sky is taking up all your bandwidth.
Yes, streaming on Blue Sky. Let's take a break. We'll come back and crown someone with King of the Prairie. I almost said King of the Hills. Jacob put that in my head. Now I can't get it out. We'll be right back. We're back. It's time to crown someone, Nick. I'm going to nominate Jalen Williams. What do you think?
I think that is a fair King of the Prairie. It's only fun, though, if we have a secondary player, just for argument's sake. It's always it's never an automatic. There's always a couple candidates in the race. Let's go. Not going to do Shai. Kenrich, I think, is a fine candidate. Very different game, and the impact looks different. But I think in his 14 minutes, what he provided was unreal.
It was. It actually was unreal. And he got to do the he was the post-game interview guy with Gallo.
Was he?
After the game, yeah. And everyone, JDub was clearly so excited that he was doing the post-game interview because he just wasn't a part of that. He hasn't been a part of that.
Yeah.
Missed training camp, was out. Like, they were just excited for him to be there.
My favorite thing about Kenrich is that all the hype, like in like media day and preseason, was like the baggy long shorts being back. Kenrich has been doing that all along, and still like his shorts are like past his knees right now,
so
and
long.
It's not talked about because it's Kenrich Williams, but it's just so funny that like all these social media accounts are like hyping up the fun young guys that are doing it, and Kenrich has been doing it all along.
The blue collar Kenrich, and damn it, let's just give him the award. Why don't?
All right, yeah, Dub will get plenty.
They'll have plenty. Who knows? Kenrich could play 1 minute in the next game. We have no idea. So let's give it to their uncle, as they call him, and
Unc.
What do you think about his hair right now? He's doing something a little different with it. He's going back to what it was when he was awesome. Last year his hair was different. He didn't have the curl at the bottom, and he wasn't as good. So maybe that's.
Are you a hair conspiracy person?
No, but just point me in a direction. Maybe I can become one.
If we're talking about hair, I would love for Shai to go back to the Travis Scott look.
Yeah,
when he was getting all the comps to Travis Scott in like 2022, I think it was, and the braids were like coming down underneath the headband. It's a good look.
Yes, that was a good look. I also do miss his look from like the bowl era.
The fro?
I do miss the fro sometimes. JDubs too. I do kind of.
That would be sick if they both came out with a fro one game.
Do it for the playoffs or something. I don't know.
Oh God, that's one way to either be the coolest duo ever or be trolled into oblivion.
Yeah, or it's over. It's like wearing black to an elimination game and losing.
Yeah.
All right. We discussed the game. Is there anything else you want to touch on? We play next. The Suns on, is it Friday?
Yes.
Now.
No Kevin Durant.
Maybe no Brad
Beals.
Beal.
I don't know on him. Beal's been playing better though. So if he is playing, he's not. I mean, he's still not a great player, but he's not the laughable Beal that we saw last year.
Yeah.
They got good point guard play. Nurk. I mean, not that it always makes a difference. We saw him have like a 24 rebound game against Oklahoma City last year and still make next to no impact relative to like what some of the guys he was going up against as a small ball center were doing. We'll see. I think I predicted a victory on that one on Sunday. I think.
Yeah, I think I predicted too long. I think I predicted they would lose tonight and that game.
You said they were going to lose to the Pelicans?
Or no, I think I predicted a loss against the Suns and the Mavs. That's what I did. I predicted a loss for the Suns and Mavs.
I am looking
I
at
moneyballed this game.
I moneyballed this game. I did LWWL. So
okay, yeah.
Win and then loss against the Mavs.
Mm-hmm.
So
it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun.
We got the Suns game Friday. We got the beer party at Prairie on Saturday. Got the Mavs game on Sunday. If you're a OKC local or a visitor of OKC, what a great weekend.
Really good weekend. I'm sure the weather will be nice. That is it. We can wrap this one up. A nice, efficient show. You and I have to be one of the most efficient duos here. Gotta say.
Well, there's some of us are more long-winded than others. We'll say that.
I would agree. Shout out to Taylor. He was gonna join us. He's got stuff going on. That's all right. Fun game to talk about. Always nice podcasting with two cranes. I'm looking for here it
Twist
is.
It.
No sound. We had no sounders. Whenever I'm hosting, it's hard to also.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Play the sounders. It's a lot of work.
It is.
Hard job being a podcaster.
Yup.
All right, we'll see you guys next game. Thanks for hanging out with us in the live stream as usual. Thanks for listening afterwards. Get on Blue Sky and follow me, damn it. See you guys next time. As always, adios and Thunder up.